Um, Tell me about your self-publishing direction. How'd you get into it?
Uh, I first went with a hybrid publisher, and I got my rights back to all my books. So I decided to self-publish because I was rejected enough in high school. I didn't need a bunch of people rejecting me about my writing. So I said, you know what? I got with Eric Bishop, talked to him. So I said, you know what? I'm going to self-publish the book. It's hard. Um, and do I think that I could get a publisher or an agent? Maybe I could. I don't know. But I just like doing it because I have more control over it,
Mhm.
and I'm able to write how I feel. And I don't have to fit into what the current state of affairs has to be with who I have to put in the book and who I don't have to put in the book.
With,
What?
with, with all due respect, and we both know a lot of authors and a lot of very successful authors, I don't know that anybody knows what the current state of affairs is in publishing.
I don't either.
It's, just,
I,
it's
I don't.
so we self-publish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not do that without my wife. You guys know her. She's uh, extraordinarily disciplined in how she approaches this. We agree on a plan and on every book. But honestly, from the time I finish writing it and finish my third or fourth pass through the book and hand it off, I'm just there to answer questions. And I'm very fortunate in that. But even with that, the publishing part of the book takes an immense amount more energy and time and of my mental faculties than
Yeah.
writing the book does.
Yeah. You made up a great point. So each book, I look at each book as a business,
Great.
and you create a business plan around that book. And what's in that business plan? It's a budget, it's marketing, it's events or whatever that, and you got to be able to encapsulate that and execute on that. Of course, you can change because without a plan, it's just a wish, right? I think Winston Churchill said that. So you make a good point. So the people that are going to self-publish it, on Amazon and everything's fairly that part, getting the book out, just formatting and everything. That's something else. But you got to have a plan, but you've got to be able to really think of it as a business because it is. It's not free, and you want to be able to people to get out and people read more than one book. So I can promote the heck out of your books or anybody else's book because people read more than one book. So
Absolutely.
that's why I think the author community is so symbiotic because I'm not taking your reader, you're not taking my reader, right? It, they read one, they go, oh, maybe I want to read something else because we all work very well together. I think I've never met an author that I'm like, you know,
Well, I think that's especially true in historical fiction. The people who love that genre love all of the genre.
mm,
And I mean, I love writing historical fiction, and the struggle that I've had with it is it is harder to get initially connected to the readers there. But once you're connected, they are very, very loyal.
yeah.
Um,
And your wife is awesome, by the way.
well, thank you.
She's
I agree with
awesome.
I agree with that. So once you finish a book, tell me how you get to do your editing. One of the reasons I'm asking this is I've had a couple of contract editors recently, and I looked at their work and basically said I'm walking away from this person because I swear to God, everything they did, they just dumped the book into an AI uh, program and let the AI program do the editing.
Yeah.
Um, so how do you do your editing?
So I do. I like to, I read the book, of course, numerous times and try to, find all that. Then I'll have the editor go through the book, and I've been very happy with her, Lisa Kay. She's very good, and she does a real good job on the books I've had. Then I let my wife read it. So my wife, her natural language is German, so she learned English reading almost word for word, very slow, meticulous. So I let her read the book, and she'll find things in it because she's very good with English grammar and everything. So she'll read the book and she'll find things in the book, and I go ahead. I like getting a copy of the book, like a pre-order copy of the book, and reading it and really find the mistakes in it or where do I want to change. But editing is It's hard. You're right. I think a lot of times you just put through an AI reader and it's not synthetic, right? That's what it is. It's
It,
synthetic. It's not natural.
it comes off as very phony.
Yeah.
And interesting, what I found was the commentary from chapter to chapter was almost the same all the way through the book, as if they had taken a model of a different, completely different book to develop it on. And if it isn't the same as that book, here's how you should change it. Um,
Yeah.
that's strange. Okay, and then comes the tough part. Now you got a book, and they print the book, and how do you promote the book? How do you market
I'm
the
not
book?
I'm not going to answer that. Well, I tell you what, no, I tell you what not to do. Don't move from Texas to Arkansas when you release a book because you're concentrated on moving and not marketing your book. So what I like to do, I do a program called Book and a Beer, a weekly thing where I'll get a book and a beer and I'll pair it. So I like to
Yep,
promote other authors. I'll promote my book every once in a while. Um, but I like to do like an hour or two of marketing. I haven't Facebook ads worked, but now I don't know if they're working as well as they used to because I think there's so much AI and there's so much uh, crap, right? There's so much stuff out there.
agreed.
So I like in-person events. I like to meet people that are reading my book. I like to sign the books, Barnes and Nobles or wherever. I like doing that, and I really try to connect with you and other authors so we can, there, more, you got one person, but that's never effective enough, and you have to build a team, and you just like an army, right? You build out all these soldiers, and they help you, and you help them in turn. That's the hardest part. I don't know if anybody has cracked it, but you guys are very good at it. So, what is your? How do you? How much before a book is released do you start promoting it?
Well, giving credit where credit is due, we follow a model that our publicist gives us.
Hmm.
And for example, I just received yesterday this book,
Oh,
advanced reader copies. It's a new one called Robber Barons. And
uh,
James, my publicist, has laid out a long-term strategy. Initially, this book will go out to a dozen pre-readers that I use on a regular basis.
mm,
I'm going to read it over the weekend, this coming weekend into the weekend,
mm,
and then start handing it out, make my own corrections in it first and some notes. And then we'll get that back. But the current strategy is to do a cover reveal and then start promoting the book literally uh, as soon as we start sending out the advanced reader copies. And then the book is due out in about February. Um, and that's how we begin the publicity part of it. A lot of it though
mm,
is now local. I for a long time ignored the Alaska market. I did not want to be typecast as an Alaska author.
mm,
The average Alaska author sells 400 copies of each book, and they sell about 300 books in about 10 years. And almost all of them go to people who have come in off from cruise ships who will never read the books,
right, right.
and it doesn't carry. So there are only two or three of us in Alaska that really work on being international or national writers.
Mm,
Mark Cameron and I are very close, and
yep.
he's done a bang up job of doing that. But still, it's important to stay in your current marketplace and have a presence in that marketplace. So we've begun really pushing that very hard in the last 5 or 6 months. Um, but the long-term strategy is to publish enough books and get just enough following out there so that we
Mm,
just begin to get the repeat business and get the word of mouth, because that is absolutely the best possible advertising you can get. If somebody puts it on their
yep.
website or on their Facebook page, say, I really love this book, it really helps.
Yeah, you hit up a key point. When I wrote my first book, I didn't want anybody to read it before it was published. That's stupid. So I like to send early release copies out, some folks and get their take on it, and what do I need to change, or do they like it or they don't. But I get very honest reviews, and Best Thrillers has been fantastic for that, as a matter of fact. But I do that, and so since I moved up here, I've already reached out to local Barnes and Noble, the local library system, because I want to build that community, that connection with the community back, like I did in Texas. and and hopefully that'll be able to, equate in some books, and looking forward to writing another one.
Well, you're the prodigal son that just came home, so there, I mean, there's a great message there in how you do this. So